Okay, we're gonna make a 9 patch. It's just a simple, basic quilt block. And so what you're gonna do, you're gonna need 9 blocks, 9 squares, whatever size you want. I'm doing a 2.5 by 2.5. And so we're just gonna place these how we want to place them. So you can place them however you want to place them. And so this is how I'm gonna place mine. So you just gotta bear with me here. So I'm gonna do these 4 like this. This will be a little bit of a long video, but just bear with me. And then I'm going to take these and I'm going to go like that. And then this like that. So that's going to be my 9 patch. So now we're going to sew it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to flip right sides together. And so I'm going to sew 1/4 inch here. Now, to mark your 1/4 inch, you can take a ruler and you can just put, here's your 1/4 on your ruler. And then you're just going to lay it down there and you can mark. I mine, but you can mark. And I'm going to do it for this video. I'm going to mark. You can mark with a pencil very lightly on the wrong side. Let me do this and then I'll come back. Okay, once we've marked it, we're going to lay our right sides together. And then I'm going to sew on that line. Okay, now we're going to sew. So I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to just, this is how I do it. I just lay my needle down on the line, which I would just lay it on the material because I don't normally have the line. And then I'm just going to make sure it goes all the way through and I'm just going to kind of rock it back and forth. Just getting enough of the material, grabbing enough that my needle does come through. So you can see that my needle does come through. You can do it as many times as you want. The longer you do it, the faster you get. Then I pull it all the way through. And then I lay this on top of that thread. This is how I've always done it. And that's why I don't mark mine. And that's how I get a straighter line. My lines are not perfect, don't get me wrong. But that kind of helps me. And then I just rock it again. Now you can pin this if you want. I do not have mine pinned if it helps keep it in place a little better. And then you're just going to pull it through. You do as many as you want to do. I'm doing a darker purple thread on this just so you can see this. And so then we're going to do it again. And we're going to do it all the way until we get to the end. Now, I've known ladies that are in quilting that don't mark theirs. Sometimes I rock it with my other finger too, but that's just because my tripod's in the way this time. There are people that don't mark it, but that have been doing quilting for years. And I've got people that have been doing quilting for years that do mark their quilts still to this day. Okay, then I'm going to go back stitch. I'm going to back stitch. And this is just how I do it to hold it in place. And I do this 3 times. I come back and then I go back again. And then I do it one more time. Okay, and that's my knot, and it holds it in place. And then I just cut my thread. Okay, and I always cut my threads short. Don't cut them too short, but short enough. And then I've got, so then I've got 2 done. So then I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to sew this. I'm going to mark it and do 1/4 inch. Okay, and then we're just going to go ahead and we're going to do the next one until we have the whole thing done. So this is going to be a little bit of a long video. So I'm probably going to stop after I do this one and then I'll do a part 2 and we'll do rows. And so we're just going to gradually, oh, it got stuck on my finger there. And if your stitches don't come out straight, do not worry about that. And if they're not as close together, just be consistent. Consistency is the key. Some of mine don't come out the greatest. It's just part of it. I like to lay my quilt block down on the table when I do this sometimes, because especially when I get to the end. But consistency is the key, and so you will get there. as you go. So this is part 1. We got 1 row done. And I'll show you what it looks like, and then I'll do a part 2. There's row 1, and it actually goes this way. So there's your row 1. Okay.